Welcome, Agile friends. My name is Vasco Duarte, and I'm hosting this session with our amazing speaker, Thoralf Klatt. Welcome, Thoralf.
Thank you. Welcome.
So in this session, we're going to talk about AI and the jobs to be done framework. Thoralf is a versatile Agile and Scrum expert experienced in many different industries, complex environments, and focusing on collaborative and impactful product development. Don't forget that we have a lot of other talks also happening at the summit. You can check all of those at the productownersummit.org. For example, we will have Steve Haupt and Mustafa Yilmaz talking about their experience in developing products using AI, and also AI used inside the products. What is it good for? Some of the ethical considerations, but also how it can help us as product owners. But that is on productownersummit.org. For now, let's focus on our speaker for this session, Thoralf. For those of us who are perhaps not yet very familiar with the jobs to be done framework, can you describe that for us and how it helps product owners?
Sure. Yeah. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So it originally came from marketing, and as we now say, since we have used jobs to be done quite recently, a lot also with Gen AI, we say that the marketing message is part of the product. So it's a holistic approach. It's really understanding what are the customers doing to progress. And typically they want your product. That's the idea. They want your product to be brought into their life, and then they can help even more progress.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I remember from the kind of the first uses and kind of being exposed to the jobs to be done framework is that also it invites us to think about what is it that the customers are trying to achieve in their own words. And I think that's always been one of the things that I really jived with, that I really appreciated, that it's not about marketing in the sense of pushing stuff to the customer. It's about marketing in the sense of figuring out how the product fits the customer's life and life goals.
Yes, yeah. Even sales is nowadays reframed to say we help customers make progress, or it's called demand side sales instead of supply side sales. Yeah. So we discover what they need, and this is all about the session.
And in your talk submission, you talk about moving from ideation to deep and wide discovery with jobs to be done and generative AI. Can you explain this transition and why it's crucial for identifying this? That jobs to be done framework talks a lot about these unmet needs.
Yeah. So as you know, we always talk about one Scrum team, one Agile team, but essentially when we really go for some major demand, we have to often come with more than one team. So I was wondering, how can every developer join in and support everyone early on the discovery of the needs? And there is something that goes much deeper than design thinking, ideation, big, hairy, audacious goals. It's fine. It's very collaborative, creative, but there's much more. So Tony Alweg, for example, talks about it, that jobs to be done is 5 times more successful when you want to innovate. If you now imagine a new practice that is 5 times more successful, right? And bringing in all the developers to help you early on to understand and get buy-in, to challenge. And that's the idea, right? You can actually scale also discovery, and you go deeper and wider because you look at the different value propositions, the different angles, the 4 forces, etc. So you have many different perspectives all coming into the picture. Even though the customer sometimes doesn't know what they want and need, you go deeper and you find out with them.
So tell us a little bit more, because now you're introducing this idea that even though we might have like large teams or many teams, we are bringing the knowledge of everybody to bear and helping to discover these unmet needs. So what do
Mhm.
you mean by that? Like how does it happen? Let's say I have three teams that are working on a product and maybe the product owner is too busy and doesn't have time to work with all three teams. How are you proposing that we use the ideas of jobs to be done and also the benefits of generative
Yeah.
AI to
Yeah.
bring the developers on board in this discovery of unmet needs?
Well, first of all, it's also a lot of